guests and dignitaries, thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence and for championing literacy. We're opening minds, we're opening opportunities, and opening a new chapter in our nation's literary journey. So sit back, immerse yourself, and allow the magic of literature to carry you. Now, officially to set the tone of the program, it is my privilege to invite a distinguished academic, a respected literary figure, and a passionate champion of writers and storytellers. As the president of Writers Association of the Gambia, he has continued to provide visionary leadership, fostering platforms and uplifting writers, preserving our narratives and connecting Gambian literature to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming the president of Writers Association, Professor Chapman. All right, President is saying we must acknowledge our guests. Some of you should please, this is a question for you to join me on the stage, please. Madam Zina, all of you.
Nous voulons que les invités d'honneur, Madame Komanchou et Professeur Bonata, s'il vous plaît, et Professeur Djibril Diallo Falebe, Président Abdoulaye John, Honorable Ali Hussein, Honorable Abdurrahman Diouf, Honorable Alassane Niang, s'il vous plaît. Honorable Nana Gray Johnson, please join us. Oh, attention, attention. Impressive, impressive. Thank you. Take your seat at your convenience. Distinguished guests, let me begin by recognizing respectable members here on the floor, the ambassador, deputy ambassador of the People's Republic of China and his delegation, the ambassador of the Republic of the Gambia in the person of His Excellency Yula, sorry, and writers and distinguished representatives of families of writers, professors here present, lecturers, and students of International Open University. We are really very, very pleased to see you all around. Maybe the MC might have probably forgotten that, but because we need to always bless the occasion, we will do a 1-minute silent prayer, and then we will continue the program. So let me just allow us a brief silent prayer. Initially, we wanted to have the word in Christian and Muslim, but we can do it a silent prayer of 1 minute, and then we will continue. 1 minute, please. Amen. May Allah bless this occasion and many other occasions to come. It is with deep humility and quiet pride that I welcome you all to the opening ceremony of the Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival. Allow me at the outset to set the record straight, because literature, like history, must be honest with itself. In 2022, it was indeed the Young Writers Association of the Gambia, under the leadership of Mohammed A. Al-Muzaffar, that courageously organized the Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival here at the Alliance Française. At the time, the Writers Association of the Gambia was less active, and in the true spirit of literary solidarity, we allowed the younger generation to take the lead. They did so with vision, energy, and commitment, and they deserve our public acknowledgement and respect for laying that important foundation. This year, however, marks a turning point. We consider the KKIBF 2025 the first fully international edition of the festival and the official launch of this initiative as an annual internationally scaled literary event under the institutional stewardship of WAD in collaboration with our partners. This is not a contradiction of the past. It is natural continuity, not rivalry. Today, we are particularly honored to welcome our international partners and guests who have traveled to be with us. We also wish to express our profound gratitude to our literary brothers and sisters from Senegal and Guinea-Conakry, who traveled under strenuous and demanding conditions to be with us at this festival. Please allow me to recognize the delegation of the Senegalese National Assembly, led by Honorable Ali Hussein, who is the chair of the subcommittee responsible for culture and communication, who graciously, under short notice, decided to join us here in the Gambia to celebrate culture. I would like to also introduce the rest of the delegation, Honorable Abdurrahman Juf and Honorable Alassane Nyang. We are profoundly grateful to see you join us here in the Gambia. Owing to limited resources, we were regrettably unable to offer them the comfort of air travel or the pleasure of an extended stay to enjoy the Gambia beyond the official program. Yet, they came willingly, generously, and without hesitation. Their understanding went beyond logistics. They recognized that our bond is deeper than comfort, stronger than convenience, and older than borders. They came because they believe, as we do, that culture integrates where politics sometimes hesitates, and that literature travels freely when resources do not. Standing with us, transform these challenges into mere details, insignificant in the face of shared history, shared struggles, and shared aspirations. This solidarity over privilege, purpose over luxury, and cultural towards collective dignity and self-determination. Their presence amongst us is not just participation, it is a powerful statement of unity, resilience, and faith in an African literary future shaped by ourselves and for ourselves. Nous souhaitons donc exprimer notre profonde gratitude à nos partenaires et frères et sœurs du monde littéraire et de la Guinée-Conakry, qui ont voyagé dans des conditions difficiles et exigeantes pour se joindre à nous. En raison des ressources limitées, nous n'avons pas malheureusement pu leur offrir le confort du voyage aérien ni le plaisir de découvrir généreusement la Gambie au-delà du programme officiel. Pourtant, ils sont venus librement, généreusement et sans la moindre hésitation. Leur compréhension a dépassé les simples considérations logistiques. Ils ont reconnu que nos liens sont plus profonds que le confort, plus forts que la commodité et plus anciens que les fonds. Que la culture intègre là où la politique hésite parfois et que la littérature circule librement, même lorsque les moyens font défaut. En se tenant à notre côté, ils ont transformé ces difficultés en simples détails, insignifiants face à une histoire partagée, des luttes communes et des aspirations collectives. C'est là, en vérité, l'esprit authentique du panafricanisme, la solidarité plutôt que le privilège, le sens plutôt que le luxe et la diversité culturelle qu'on voit vers la dignité collective et l'autodétermination. Leur présence parmi nous n'est pas une simple participation. Elle constitue une déclaration forte d'unité, de résilience et de foi en un avenir littéraire africain façonné par nous-mêmes et pour nous-mêmes. I wish to express our profound gratitude to the government of the Gambia for its continued moral and institutional support to arts and culture. A nation that supports its writers safeguards its memory and sharpens its conscience. We recall the Quranic principle that true thankfulness to Allah is reflected through gratitude to people. In that spirit, and with the highest respect, we express our sincere appreciation to His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia for his generous contribution to the revival and strengthening of the Writers Association of the Gambia. This gesture stands as a clear acknowledgement of the place of culture, ideas, and literature in national development. We pray that Allah rewards this act with continued increase and blessings. To the organizing team, volunteers, coordinators, and collaborators, this festival stands firmly on your sleepless nights, endless phone calls, improvised solutions, and quiet, often unseen sacrifices. Teamwork is frequently invisible, uncelebrated, and taken for granted. But today, it stands before us in full view, tangible, and undeniable. In this regard, I wish to offer special recognition to Nyada Yoba Balde and Aisha Jawara, whose commitment, availability, and sense of responsibility rose far beyond expectations. I am a very difficult person to work with, but Nyada is far more difficult than I am. They have been exemplary coordinators, steady under pressure, responsible at all hours, and deeply invested in ensuring that work was given the attention, care, and organizational discipline this moment required. You should come tonight. They said they are going to make a parody of Nyada Yoba Balde and myself. I'm sure you would enjoy it. Their work provided the glue that held many moving parts all together. This acknowledgement in no way diminishes the dedication of our team members, whose commitment is equally valued. Many, however, were constrained by professional and personal obligations elsewhere, limiting the time and energy they could devote to work during this critical period. That reality is understood and respected. What matters most is that together you deliver. This festival bears your collective fingerprints, and work recognizes your effort with gratitude, pride, and renewed confidence in what we can achieve when commitment meets purpose. We also owe an immense debt of gratitude to our sponsors and benefactors, without whom this festival would have remained a beautiful idea, trapped on paper, well-intentioned but unrealized. We sincerely thank Alliance Française, Jar Oil, Africell, and the Honorable Dr. Mamadou Tangara for believing that books too deserve sponsorship, not only footballs, concerts, and festivities. Your support affirms a powerful truth. Literature is not a luxury. It is a structure for the mind. Of the highest order. We also wish to express our sincere appreciation to Abdoulaye Baksture for generously providing a space for the Writers Association of the Gambia to host its secretariat. Conducive environment, one that is ideal for reflection, planning, collaboration, and growth. It is a space that inspires ideas and gives institutional presence to our collective aspirations. At the same time, we acknowledge with honesty and hope that while this space exists, our work there are still yearns for support to make the Secretariat fully active, functional, and responsive to the growing demands placed on work. Infrastructure alone does not create institutions. Sustained support, shared responsibility, and collective commitment do. We therefore remain grateful for this functional gesture, even as we continue to appeal for assistance needed to transform this office into a vibrant hub for Gambian literary life. and eventually getting our own fully established secretariat. In the same spirit, we wish to recognize and warmly thank the individual patrons and friends of Gambian literature, whose personal, generous financial contributions help carry this festival beyond vision to reality. We acknowledge with deep appreciation Dr. Ernest Obi, Dr. Baba Jallo, Amir Yaya Silla, Dr. Yaya Cham, Mustafa Njai Taf, Hamidou Jah, Jukafatu Jabang, Dr. Sidi Drame, Honorable Madi K. Sise, Rohit Samba Jallo, Musa Ba, Mohamed Trawale, and Nyada Yoba. These contributions may not always appear on banners or billboards, but they are written into the very faith in ideas, trust in collective effort, and a personal commitment to ensuring that Gambian stories are written, read, and remembered. To all of you, we say you have not merely funded an event, you have strengthened a cultural ecosystem, and for that, the nation owes you gratitude. We are equally indebted to our partners and sponsors who supported this festival with in-kind contributions, which were both practical and invaluable, especially in a context of limited resources. Again, we will not be tired to say and conference space free of charge for the full 3 days, a gesture that formed the physical backbone of this festival. We also thank Spice Hub, that is the restaurant, providing lunch at the heavily that hospitality for our esteemed guests did not become a barrier to participation. Our gratitude goes to Africell for printing the festival banners and exhibition canvases, helping us present Gambian literature with the dignity and visibility it deserves. We warmly acknowledge Bunama Njai for offering 5 hotel rooms for 3 days and express our profound thanks to Baba Hotel and Resorts for providing 3 rooms for 6 days at the height of the tourism season, an act of generosity that went far beyond ordinary corporate support. These gestures, offered freely and in good faith, remind us that nation building often happens quietly through practical acts of solidarity. Without such in-kind support, this festival would have faced insurmountable logistical constraints. For this, we remain deeply grateful. We also wish to acknowledge with sincere appreciation Turkish Airlines, WeChat, the International Trade Center, and Fantasias for their dedicated partnership and steadfast support in making this event truly memorable. Their commitment, collaboration, and belief in their value of literature and cultural exchange contributed significantly to the success and visibility of the Kinteh International Book Festival. Through such partnerships, we are reminded that meaningful alliances across sections and borders are essential to sustaining cultural initiatives and ensuring that events of this nature continue to grow in impact. We also wish to extend our deepest and most heartfelt gratitude to the families of our departed literary giants, who, in an extraordinary act of remembrance and generosity, choose to honor the legacy of their loved ones by financially supporting this festival. We acknowledge with profound respect the families of Hassan Sise Sr., Suwaibu Konate, Hassan Aijang, Ibu Diba, Gabriel, and Fafa Idris Ambai. In contributing to this event, you have ensured that the names, works, and sacrifices for these pioneers do not remain confined to archives or memories, but continue to breathe through living literary spaces, such as this festival. We cannot be grateful enough for your decision to remember your parents and family members in the most meaningful way possible by investing in the future of Gambian literature. They help to shape. Your gesture is more than financial support. It is an act of cultural continuity, a bridge between generations, and a powerful affirmation that a writer's legacy does not end with their passing, and through your support, their voices continue to speak, inspire, and guide us. We wish most sincerely to extend our appreciation to all participants, speakers, moderators, panelists, authors, and facilitators who gave this festival its intellectual depth and human warmth. Your presence, ideas, and generosity of thought transform KKIBF from a schedule of activities into a living conversation. So we acknowledge with gratitude the contributions of our panelists and speakers, such as Baba Sila, Musa Ba, Aisa Tundau, Nana Gray Johnson, Aisa Jawara, Anika Kambo, Dr. Yaya Cham, Dr. Jibril Jallo Faleme, and my sister Kumanchu Zainab Jallo, whose insights enrich our discussions across languages, genders, and generations. We also warmly thank our moderators and facilitators, Keba Juara, Yada Yoba Balde, Bintu Sane, and Aisa Jawara, for guiding conversations with clarity, discipline, and intellectual grace. Our appreciation equally goes to featured authors and readers who shared their works and stories with courage and openness. Among them, we have Keba Juara again, Musa Ba, Dr. Yaya Chan, Nana Gray Johnson, and Aisa Jawara, as well as those who animated our readings, dialogues, and exchanges, including Amadou S. Jallo and Maria Tuba. We are grateful to the international voices who join us in solidarity, notably Fode Abdoulaye Fode Job, Fode John of the Association des Écrivains du Senegal, whose presence reaffirmed the regional and Pan-African character of this festival. We've already recognized Jibril Jallo Falemi, who is the Secretary General of the Association des Écrivains du Senegal. We also want to recognize Professor Bonaparte Jeng, who is the curator of the museum in Fouta Djallon, who accompanies our sister Komanchu Zainab Jallo. To every participant, named and unnamed, who attended sessions, asked questions, visited the exhibitions, brought books, or simply listened attentively as you are doing now, you are part of this success. Dear members of WAD, this festival is also a mirror held before us. An association thrives only when its members step forward, not merely as spectators, but as organizers. As organizers, leaders, and custodians, I therefore encourage you to be more involved, to volunteer, to contest leadership positions. This festival was organized under difficult conditions, delays, bureaucratic hitches, limited resources, and last-minute adjustments. I still remember. How they call it, Mario, who is the director of the Alliance Française, who just came recently, and who is very focused about detail and organization. And we is worried that the festival will not succeed. I keep reassuring her that this is the way sometimes it happens. It can happen even the last minute. That magic wand can just make it happen. And she's just worried. But I'm happy to say, even though she was supposed to leave for her holidays, she's now leaving tonight, joining us this morning. So we are really grateful, Mario, for your generosity. So why are intellectual and cultural events often poorly attended and weakly supported, as we have seen today? If I had had Yusundur here, I am sure this place would have filled the capacity, and Marion would have said, I will not accept any more person. If I had rappers here, maybe everybody would have come. But because I'm displaying knowledge, books, they said it is a boring activity. So I was saying, while dances, ceremonies, and festivities attract crowds with ease, so a nation that celebrates only its pleasures and neglects its thinkers risks cultural extinction. I therefore call on Gambians, intellectuals, institutions, and businesses to support their own intellectual life. Buy books, attend readings, support festivals like this one. If we want an annual KKIBF that grows in scale, quality, and impact, then it must be owned by the people, not carried by a few exhausted volunteers. Let us make the Kinteh International Book Festival a national habit, not an occasional experiment, a calendar event, not an emergency project. As we move toward the award night tonight, we warmly invite all paid members of the Writers Association of the Gambia, together with their families, to attend and share in this moment of celebration. This evening, WAG will recognize and honor deserving members and contributors whose commitment has sustained the association and Gambian literature over the years. We wish to note with transparency that while there was strong enthusiasm to organize a full literary awards ceremony this year, we collectively felt that it would have been too ambitious within the scope of this edition. In the interest of quality, dignity, and proper preparation, the literary awards have therefore been postponed to next year, when they will be launched with the seriousness and national prominence they deserve. For now, let us celebrate effort, service, and solidarity, and prepare together for an even greater edition ahead. Finally, I thank each and every one of you for listening to this very long and boring speech, but most importantly, for honoring us with your presence today. Your attendance already makes this festival a success. I pray for the smooth, peaceful, and fruitful completion of this great gathering, literary gathering, and for many more editions to come, stronger, bigger, and more proudly Gambian. May our pens remain sharp, our words fruitful, and our stories unafraid. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was powerful. Almost as powerful as a nice book ending, huh? In the early mornings. First of all, I'd like to also, before that, I'd like to thank Saki. You came here on such prompt notice. I can't go ahead without especially thanking you for being here and being a part of the program. Okay, thank you so much, Professor Brian, for those wonderful, inspiring, welcoming remarks. Your words have beautifully set the tone for the Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival, reminding us that the power of storytelling, community, and the shared responsibility we hold on in preserving and celebrating our literary heritage. Once again, thank you so much. Our festival would not have been possible without a meaningful partnership that believed in the power of stories, culture, and creative exchange. It is therefore a great honor to recognize the institution that has consistently supported literature, language, and arts, both locally and globally. Our next speaker represents one of our esteemed partners, an institution deeply committed to cultural dialogue, education, and promotion of creativity. Under her leadership, Alliance Française de Banjo continues to serve as a vital bridge between culture, ideas, and artistic expression. Ladies and gentlemen, please join Ms. Marion Ray Escan.
Honorable Ministers, distinguished members of the National Assembly, Your Excellencies, President and members of the Writers Association of the Gambia, renowned authors and professors from the Gambia, Senegal, Guinea-Conakry, France and beyond, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, good morning and bienvenue to Alliance Française de Bonjour. My name is Marie-Laure Essien, and I am the director of Alliance Française. Since my arrival in the Gambia 3 months ago, it is a profound honor to stand before you today as we open the Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival. It is more than just a literature event. It is a bridge and a new breath of air for Gambian literature and West African literature. Named after iconic figures of are the heartbeat of your identities and cultures all over the world. This event is a testament to the thriving support Alliance Française de Bonjour provides to art, culture, history, and literature in the Gambia since 1948, which is the date on which Alliance has been created. and of course to the Writers Association of the Gambia. The festival also highlights the historical cooperation between France and the Gambia and in the rest of the world over the 800 alliances all over the world. Our relationship is built on mutual respect and a shared belief in cultural diversity. France remains a steadfast partner in supporting the Gambian arts scene, recognizing that a nation's greatest wealth lies in its creative industry, arts, culture, and literature. We are proud to be the platform where French savoir-faire means the Gambian togetherness. As a sponsor and partner, we work hand in hand. Alliance is not only a place to learn French, even though this is our core activity, but it's also a maison de la culture, a sanctuary for Gambian and West African expression. By hosting the Writers Association of Gambia and supporting the Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival, we reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that the voice of the documented and celebrated on the global stage. Events like this do not happen if we work alone, as Professor Barry mentioned. As a sponsor and host, Alliance would like to extend its deepest gratitude to the Writers Association of the Gambia and the other sponsors and partners involved. Africell, Jaol, Bakadaji, TAF Global, Spice Hub, GRA, NCAC, Baobab, the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Tourism, Waysheets, Claire Afrique, International Trade Center, L'Harmattan, Sénégal. C'est un plaisir de vous accueillir à Banjul. Vision Development Foundation, Turkish Airlines, and of course the organizing committee of the Writers Association of the Gambia. They put together an incredible amount of work to make this even happen. Your investment in literature and in culture is an investment in the future of the youth of the Gambia. I would like to salute the giants of Gambian literature who have paved the way. We honor Nana Gray Johnson, whose dedication to the written word has shaped the Gambian consciousness. Baba Sila, whose philosophical and historical depth continues to inspire new generations. We also welcome representatives, colleagues, and friends from Senegal, the land of Léopold Sédar Senghor or Ousmane Sambène, but also Guinea-Conakry and France. You represent a cross-border literary tradition that proves that while our language may differ, English, French, Wolof, Mandika, and so much more, our hearts and love for literature and arts can bring us together. A last word to the authors and authors in the making present here today. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for showing us who you were, who you are, and who you can become, and to put your country in the front stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to have you here today, and I wish all of you a great Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival. Enjoy. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Jërëjëf.
All right. Okay, so next we are going to have, well, thank you once again. We're going to have the Association of Senegal, Mr. President Fondi. I'm sorry, it's a very nice body movement, so I think you just be around him with it. But he was going to be giving a speech in one of,
jërëjëf. Mu nekk loo xam entre Gambie ak Sénégal. Ma di nuyu nag ci suma commencement wax di ci nuyu président des écrivains bu Gambie di ci teg membre yi ànd ak moom yëpp ci liggéey bi di ci teg tamit kilifa yi toog fii ci nekk ci rawam ak li mu yor ci àddina di ci nuyu aussi suñu kilifa yi ñoom laa waroon jiital sax mooy suñu honorable député yi ànd ak ñëw bu rafet bu fekkee xew-xew bi muy député président commission culture ak communication bu assemblée nationale du Sénégal ñu ci commencé tàmbale Aliou Sène
teg ci honorable Abdourahmane Diouf ak honorable Ousmane Diop ñu ngi leen di gërëm ci seen teewaay aussi di ci teg ci délégation parce que délégation la ñu def tey pour ñëw fii ma àndi si ak docteur Faleme ñi nga xamante ne moom mooy secrétaire général bu association bi ak suñu jigéen bi nga xamante ne moom Conakry la nekk ngir la dëkk waaye dafa mel ni Sénégal la dëkk it ndax li ñu xewle Sénégal mu ñëw fekk ko muy Zeyna Omanto Diané mu ànd ak professeur Dieng di wax ne tamit si ñi nga xamante ne ñoo yor librairie yi am nañ ci ñaar yu jóge Sénégal ñëw fi tamit muy librairie Claire Afrique ak librairie Harmattan bu Sénégal loolu day wone rek ne délégation bi ñu def nii li xew tey fi Gàmbi soxla seet ñaari dëkk yi man damay wax rek ne bu ñu nekkee Sénégal ñu def discours dama naan rek c'est deux provinces d'un pays mooy ñaari gox yu mag lañ ci benn dëkk ndax doone dëkk lañ sax ndax Sénégal dafa bari similitude ak Gambie aussi dafa bari similitude ak Sénégal moo xamante ñaari dëkk yi benn lañ boo ci bëggee seet leen di xàjjale doo ko sax gis ndax sant yi benn la tur yi benn la wax bi sekk tamit benn la muy wolof bi mu nekk loo xamante ne moo ñu téye moo ñu boole ku ko bëgg a dindi tamit di nga sonn trop ndax am na ay jéem yi fi amoon mais jéem yooyu tamit mënta nañ ndax Sénégal bi mu ngi fi dafa nekk loo xamante ne lu ñu soxal la ñun bopp ci boor si Sénégal te xam naa lu soxal tamit Gambie la ndax tey suñu association des écrivains du Sénégal ñu ngi ko dooree depuis 1973 donc lu xaw a yàgg la Senghor moo ko sampoon président yu bari jaar nañ fi ba mu mujjee sama loxo ni te su jógee sama loxo tamit day dem ci keneen muy institution boo xamante ne dañ ko ràññee suñu njiit yi loolu gën a war a tax sax xat na ñoom ñu nekk fi tey dañu fonk lool dañuy jàppale lool fu ñu yëngu ñu ngi suñu wet parce que xam nañ ne bindkat dafa am solo ci dëkk ndax bindkat mooy baromètre bu dëkk lu fa xew dina ko wax lu nar a ñëw it dina ko wax ndax yàlla moo ko may loolu rek mu nekk nit ku ñu war a fonk en tout cas ñun loolu lañu yaakaar fi ndax ñoom lañ ci mission yàgg na lool ñu président bi recevoir ñu bindkatu Sénégal ñu defe naa am na ay seede Nana Grace Johnson mën na ko seede président Bay mën na ko seede suñu jigéen mën na ko seede tamit ba nga xamante ne ñun ci loolu la ñuy dox maanaam lu gën a dajale ñaari dëkk yi rek ndax Sénégal dafa nekk dëkku bind ndax ni ma ko waxee sànq rek président Léopold Sédar Senghor te yow yokk ko waaye bu ñu jee seet ci njëkk bind Sénégal depuis 1920 la boobu Senghor xale bu góor la donc lu yàgg la lu ko jiitu la waaye bi mu ñëwee moom daf ko gën a firndeel ba nga xamante ne dañu ràññee mbindum Sénégal ci biti loolu may wax nag di ko répété toujours diplomatie culturelle boobu ñun dañ koy doxal fu mu nekk loolu waral tey suñu teewe fii ndax le 7 novembre bi passé dafa nekk 7 novembre bi dafa nekk bés boo xamante ne fonk Sénégal ndax Union africaine temps yi OUA moo ko décrété woon depuis 1972 daal ne bés bi daf ko jagalee bindkat yi c'est-à-dire que bindkat bu nekk Afrique rek bésu 7 novembre war ngaa taxaw xool sa dëkk fu mu yem ak fu mu jëm loolu moo waral journée 7 novembre de ko Afrique ñu koy célébré muy journée nationale de l'écrivain africain bii passé nag li tax ma koy fête bi dañ ci invité woon doomu Gambie moo ko parrainé woon muy Mamadou Tangara moom lañ ko jagleel woon mu nekk bés bu rëy mu jógee fi ñu jógee woon réunion ba arabe union arabe la jógee woon donc ñëw fekk ñu Sénégal xool ko lool mu def déplacement boobu ñëw ba fii tànn bi ñu ko tànn nag loolu yëpp day dellu si rek suñu diggante ak Gambie ndax du ma sax ne suñu diggante ak Gambie ndax su ma nee benn dëkk la mënutuma ci indi diggante dama naan rek suñu booloo ñun ak Gambie dafa nekk lu am solo ñun du ñu gëm bokk gëm ko trop trop mu nekk loo xamante ne ñun dañ ciy dox guddi ak bëccëg di ci wax écrivain gambien yi te ñi buñ fi nekkee tamit ñoom ñu invité ñu association bi invité ñu ñun dañ cee war a dugal dañ cee war a exilaat taxaw ni ñu fi war a taxawee comme doomu Gambie noonu lañ fi taxawee tey di leen gërëm di leen sant ndax festival bi mu ngi doog a door waaye man am naa njort na dina nekk festival bu rëy a rëy ci at yi di ñëw ndax yeneen dëkk yi bu ñu ko déggee aussi nañu ñëw yaakaar naa ne deuxième édition bi 2026 bu dee 2027 tamit dina nekk loo xam ne dina rëy trop en tout cas ñun dinañ ko préparé dinañ gën a yokk ñu ren ñi bu ñu xoolee liñ fi nekkee war nañ fi mat bëgguma dem waaye mat nañ fi peut-être juróom-ñett wala fukk donc yaakaar na délégation boobu dina yokk at yi di ñëw parce que ñun dañu bëgg Gambie dafa nekk suñu xol moo xamante ne lépp li ñuy def tamit dañ ci bëgg a boole Gambie tey bu ñuy def suñu 7 novembre toujours dañuy am ay écrivain gambien yi ñëw fekkee ko wax ci seen xalaat ñoom tamit ñu nekk ci man maa ngi leen di gërëm di leen sant bëgguma téye micro bi lu yàgg wasalaam.
Merci beaucoup. Merci, Mr. President. Your words in one of reminds us why partnerships like yours are not just supportive, but essential to the good of literature. Wow. Okay. I guess I don't have to say more. He's given everybody who appreciated that speech. I was told it's paramount for me to thank Lady Shion Hamatan. They're one of the people who have Kinteh and I would like to thank you especially. Thank you so much once again for making it here. Next we have Madam from Guinea Conakry, Madam Kumacha Zainab Jal.
My name is Zainab Kumanchu Diallo. Mon anglais s'arrête là. Stop. My English is very, very bad. Donc, je ne vais pas me permettre d'avancer plus que ça. Mais on me demande de parler en pulaar. Je n'ai pas la chance de faire comme mon frère John, qui partage donc le Wolof avec vous. Je ne sais pas s'il y a beaucoup de locuteurs pulaar ici. Qui va traduire si je dis en français? Ok. Résumé en anglais. Donc, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Je parle sous le contrôle de mon ambassadeur, l'ambassadeur de Guinée qui est là, mon cher frère. Au nom de Dieu, le clément, le miséricordieux, louange à lui, Dieu de l'univers et de tous les hommes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala. C'est toujours un plaisir de vous retrouver et de découvrir la grande Gambie. Beaucoup de gens pensent que la Gambie est très petite, mais pour nous, la Gambie est une grande nation. Vous retrouver, c'est donc retrouver des frères et sœurs unis par le lien solide de la fraternité. c'est retrouver une communauté d'hommes et de femmes debout, une communauté respectueuse des vertus de la tradition. Je voudrais remercier ceux qui m'ont invité à prendre part à cette rencontre importante et les féliciter pour l'initiative de créer le festival du livre qui porte le nom du célèbre Kunta Kinteh, qui reste un symbole de dignité, de courage et d'attachement à ses racines, à sa culture, sa terre natale. Nous avons tous vu le film de Alex Allais. Vers chez nous en Guinée, c'était dans les années 80. Et comme l'a si bien rappelé le grand Alex Allais, donc le réalisateur du film Kunta Kinteh, que nous avons tous adoré, tant il nous a démontré que la terre natale n'est pas une simple terre. La terre natale vous rappelle dès que vous lui tournez le dos. Et c'est pourquoi je dois vous dire combien notre rencontre me fait penser au lien qui nous unit en tant qu'humains d'abord, mais aussi et surtout à ce lien ombilical, même s'il est invisible, qui nous lie à notre terre, à notre communauté. Et à mon humble avis, on ne saurait malheureusement pas cerner tous les contours en un laps de temps. Mais heureusement, déjà, ce festival d'aujourd'hui est un témoin de votre bonne foi, vous les Gambiens. Chers frères et sœurs de l'Association des écrivains de la Gambie, dans la recherche de solutions à nos problèmes de fraternité. Cela nous permet de nous retrouver et donc de garder le lien. Mon frère John l'a si bien dit tout à l'heure, c'est quelque part des petits quartiers d'un même pays qui se retrouvent. Et aussi et surtout au problème crucial de circulation de nos livres, à la promotion de notre littérature dans une sous-région secouée par des violences de toutes sortes. Je voudrais remercier particulièrement mon frère Tchernobali, que moi j'appellerais à juste titre l'homme de paix. Et l'homme de la paix, l'homme de la paix, il le sait, lui, Bali. Et nous le savons tous. L'homme de paix, c'est d'abord un homme de Dieu, qui croit en Dieu et qui connaît et se réfugie toujours derrière Dieu. Dans nos rencontres à Dakar, j'ai toujours eu du plaisir à travailler avec lui. Merci donc à toi, Bali. Merci à ton équipe, qui est une vaillante équipe. Merci à tous ceux qui sont là, qui ont effectué le déplacement. Merci aussi à mon ambassadeur qui est là et qui n'a pas attendu de faire le protocole. Parce que c'est d'abord un homme de culture. C'est un grand homme de culture que vous voyez là et aussi un homme de paix. Parce que partout où on parle de paix, de réconciliation, partout où on parle d'unité et de lien, il est présent. Il n'a jamais voulu qu'on rompe le lien et c'est pour ça qu'il est présent aujourd'hui. Je voudrais qu'on l'applaudisse. Alors pour finir, je voudrais aussi redire un peu ce que mon frère Dion a dit tout à l'heure. C'est d'abord de prier pour que le bon Dieu nous donne la santé pour continuer ce festival. Qu'il nous donne la santé, qu'il donne la santé à l'équipe qui a commencé ce festival Kunta Kinteh pour qu'il devienne un très grand festival. Notre rencontre d'aujourd'hui doit rester dans les annales de l'histoire de nos pays. Et c'est pour ça que je voudrais dire solennellement ici que pour la Guinée, en tout cas, nous optons pour que même au-delà de ce festival, que nous nous retrouvions le plus souvent, plus que maintenant. Ça va nous permettre d'accompagner le festival, ça va nous permettre d'amener d'autres écrivains, d'autres littéraires, d'autres gardiens de nos patrimoines à s'intéresser à ce grand festival. Sur ce, je voudrais donc vous dire merci. Ondiara Malba Kamewel Tanikiam. Jerejef, thank you very much.
Just a very quick summary of what she said. She began to, first of all, recognize the ambassador of Guinea-Conakry here, Ambassador Yula, who has honored this event, even at a very short notice, and expressed his joy to be here. Gambia, I said Gambia. And she prays that the community continues, that this festival becomes a symbol of dignity. And the use of the name Kunta Kinteh, she links it to Alex Haley's book, The Roots, and saying that she also saw the movie, knowing that that is a very symbolic thing because origins are very essential to every human being. And through that book, Alex Haley was able to trace back ancestral origins back to the Gambia. And that is what we all think about, because origins is where we go and source ourselves, because it is also the human link, the umbilical cord, even if the umbilical cord is not by nature physical, but it can be also cultural. And this is what links us as a community and makes us one. She also said that this festival is a demonstration of our commitment to seek a solution that will keep us. And as we gather here together, we see ourselves as one people beyond the boundaries that are colonial inheritance. And through the books also we get linked because books have no boundaries. So he also commended my humble self as a peaceful guy. She's also my sister. We've always seen ourselves tracing our cultures back to Futa Jalong. By the way, I'm the true African. I have my cultures in Futa Jalong. I have my links in Senegal, from Futa Toro. So I know I can move around borders. I am the borderless individual here, so I cannot imagine her seeing me as a peaceful person. And then she said that in Dakar, when we meet there, we are always working together. And she's honored to have been working with me. She also thanks the team that has been working diligently to see this festival a success. And then again, thank her ambassador, who has really been titled as a man of culture, because he's always present wherever culture is. And she believes that culture is one of the most strongest links between people. And she said to conclude, she wants to reiterate what the president of Senegal mentioned, that she will pray for good health so that this festival continues and that it is better organized in the next editions that would allow it to expand further. And for them in Guinea, they are committed to come in numbers, invite others to come so that this festival will become bigger than it is now. Thank you very much. Summary.
Thank you for that very informative summary of what she said. Well, next we have, since we are still talking up to getting people from beyond our borders to talk, next we have Mr. Abu Alion Sen, the Chair and President of the National Assembly Committee for Culture and Communication of the Key of Senegal. Thank you so much.
Merci. Jërëjëf. Donc maa ngi nuyu ñëpp. Damay bëgg rek surtout pour sunu kilifa bi, l'ambassadeur, le consulaire de la Guinée, et au nom aussi de la directrice de l'Institut, de faire d'abord le discours en français. Ensuite, moi-même, je vais traduire en wolof. Maintenant, Barry, tu vas traduire en anglais. Au nom du président, Messieurs les ambassadeurs et consuls, Dr Thierno Barry, président de l'Association des écrivains gambiens, Madame la directrice de l'Institut français, Monsieur et Madame les écrivains de la République de Gambie,
Monsieur Ndion et Monsieur Diallo Falémé, représentant l'Association des écrivains du Sénégal, le doyen Ndien et Madame Zeynab Sow, représentant des écrivains de la Gambie, Nana Gray Johnson de la Gambie, chers invités, nous sommes honorés de prendre la parole ce vendredi 19 décembre 2025 au nom du président de l'Assemblée nationale à l'occasion du Festival international Kunta Kinteh du livre de la Gambie. Pour rappel, les liens qui unissent le Sénégal et la Gambie sont séculaires et remontent à l'époque des grands empires ouest-africains tels que l'Empire du Mali et l'Empire du Jolof. Nos peuples partagent une histoire commune, une culture riche et des traditions similaires. La colonisation a artificiellement séparé nos deux pays, mais les liens culturels et historiques demeurent forts. Les Wolofs, les Sérères et les Peulh sont des groupes ethniques présents dans les deux pays. Les écrivains et les députés ont toujours joué un rôle crucial dans la marche de nos peuples. Ils ont été la voix de la liberté, de la justice et de la démocratie. Ils ont contribué à façonner l'histoire de nos pays et à promouvoir la culture et l'identité de nos peuples. Au Sénégal, des écrivains tels que Léopold Sédar Senghor, Sembène Ousmane ont marqué l'histoire littéraire et notre culture. En Gambie, des écrivains tels que Nana Gray Johnson et Tidiane Salah ont également contribué à enrichir la littérature et la culture de leur pays. Monsieur le docteur Tchernobari, je vous adresse mes félicitations ainsi que les félicitations de la délégation qui m'accompagne, Monsieur Abdourahmane Diouf, le premier vice-président de la commission, et le secrétaire de la commission, et votre équipe pour l'organisation de ce festival qui met en lumière la richesse de la culture et de la littérature gambienne. Votre travail est un exemple pour nous tous. Je voudrais également saluer le président, l'ambassadeur du Sénégal en Gambie, qui travaille sans relâche pour renforcer les relations entre nos deux pays. Les écrivains et les députés que nous sommes représentons les traits d'union entre nos deux peuples et contribuent à renforcer les liens d'amitié et de coopération entre nos pays. Je voudrais saluer l'initiative de l'organisation de ce festival qui offre une plateforme pour les écrivains et les intellectuels de nos deux pays de se rencontrer et de partager leurs expériences. Pour terminer, je réaffirme l'engagement de l'Assemblée nationale du Sénégal à renforcer les relations avec la Gambie. Thierno defe naa yow bu ma ko waxee parce que ñi tax may wax olof yi anglais li ma ci tënk rek mooy léegi nii rek bi ñuy dugg avant ñuy dugg fii rek am na luñ doon wax mooy ñun li ñu boole déjà mooy làkk bi kon bu ñu ñëwee di wax anglais wala ñuy wax français dafa fekk rek ne am na ñoo xam ne xëy na dégguñu wolof loolu moom rek mooy logique ñu war ko wax mais dañuy jàpp ne Sénégal ak Gambie même ak Donc, l'histoire a montré la Sénégambie mooy li sunu jigéen léegi wax dafa dépasser même les frontières kon bu ñu ñëwee tey ñu invité ñu ci festival bi ni ñun liñ ciy xaar mooy la nga xamee ne sunu maam yi dañ ko defoon am fu sunu réew yi tolloon mooy surtout sunu aada ak sunu cosaan loolu tey festival mais festival bi tamit dafay ubbi ay bunt yoo xam ne nii ci ay jëflante sunu réew yépp dañ ko war a jëflante parce que tey toll ci un tournant boo leen seetloo ñaari fukki at ak juróom yu nekk rek day am lu bees luy xew ci réew dafay mel ne li réew yépp bëgg muy même réew étranger yi tey sunu naataango yi ñu ngi fi les pays asiatiques ñoom ñëpp xam nañ ne seen développement fenn kese lañ ko teg mooy ci seen aada ak ci seen cosaan te defe naa tabax bu nekk bu mu mën a doon ak dayo bu mu mën a am bu taxawee rek fondement bi moo dëgg kon tey sunu réew yi bu ñu continuer di exister fondement bi mooy sunu aada ak sunu aada yeeg sunu cosaan yi ñun dañ ko war a fonk te di wax le docteur Barry benn bu nekk wàññi bu nekk dafay tàmbale si benn te dañuy ñaan yàlla benn bii ngeen tàmbale tey dañuy ñaan yàlla nañ ko def ay ati te di renforcer le président li mu wax John di wax ci turu écrivain Sénégal yi ak les députés yi ma àndal que Sénégal de moom taxaw na tamit pour dugal loxo inshallah ci festival bi
Thank you.
For the benefit of those who cannot speak French and English, and Arab, French, let me just quickly give you a summary. The one who is speaking is the chair of the Select Committee of the National Assembly of Senegal. And he has led the delegation here with his vice chair and also the Secretary General of the same Select Committee of the National Assembly. So he started by respecting all the protocols and then said he's honored to speak here in this auspicious event on behalf of the Speaker of the National Assembly of Senegal. And he said that this is a wonderful event that is linking Gambia and Senegal also through its own histories. And he said that naturally Gambia and Senegal has existed long before the borders that we know exist today separating the two countries. That in fact, Gambia and Senegal are one people, but they have been divided by a colonial heritage. They share the same cultures, they share the same traditions. But this colonial separation is what has just led to that political difference. So he said that this link is supposed to be solid because we have the same people across the two borders. He said the writers and the National Assembly members have all been working together to promote culture. He made citations of writers in Senegal, such as Sembène Ousmane and Léopold Sédar Senghor, who was the first president of Senegal. They have promoted culture in Senegal, and the likes of that also is found in the Gambia, in the persons of Nana Gray Johnson and Tijan Sala, who have all been writing also to promote culture through their work and through literature. He congratulated the Writers Association of the Gambia and delegation, and that is when he started introducing his delegation, the vice chair and the secretary. And also he said their presence here to celebrate Gambia and its culture, that he also thanked the Senegalese ambassador in the Gambia here for continuing to play that diplomatic role to bond the two countries. But the most important bond is the writers who are contributing to ensure that through culture, through their literature, Gambia and Senegal is becoming one. He also congratulated all those who have initiated this effort and who have worked diligently to make it happen, and to all the intellectuals who are providing the space for that cultural sharing. And then he also mentioned that like for example, the presence of the People's Republic of China today is Eastern Asia is a good example of how culture, respecting traditions, making it the backbone of development, can propulse development very fast. And he commended all the as National Assembly members to ensure that they will continue to participate to this event in the future, and they will also give their quota as much as they could. That is the end of the speech, but let me just make a very small digression here. And this is my personal intervention, Madam President, before you bring the lunch. Today, we have a book there called The Senegambian Myth, written by the oldest living writer today, Gabriel Joseph Roberts, or John Roberts, who is what, 99? Is 90? He's 99 years. 99 years this year. The oldest living Gambian writer who is presently here. Now, the reason why I make mention of that book, and with my Senegalese colleague here, let me just explain briefly. And I hope it's not going to cause the fray that it caused in 1972, when the play was staged at the Reform Club in Banjul, then the play was called A Coup is Planned. A coup is planned. Because there is this notion between Senegal that one day Senegal is going to annex Gambia. Because of the size of the Gambia, and because of the belief that the Gambia is too small and is an improbable nation, that it cannot exist independently without Senegal helping it. So they thought that one day Senegal is going to annex Gambia. This is at the political level. So Gabriel Roberts prepared the play A Coup is Planned. But when he staged it in Banjul, Sadaura Kairaba Jawara was seated with the Senegalese ambassador. And when it was staged, it was showing that Gambia, who was the President Dominique, and Senegal President Dominique and Gambia Lady Sabrina, a woman, are supposed to marry. And that marriage is going to annex Gambia to Senegal. And it became such a scandal to the ambassador that he complained to the president. And Gabriel Roberts was expelled from the Reform Club. And even, I think, lost his job. That was a very big problem at the time. But I'm sure our thoughts and minds have changed today. Because in 1988, he wrote the book back and he called it The Goosey Gandiran Myth. But this time he decided to change the play to prose. And apparently, the book has now evolved again. It is now called Senegambian Myth. And it is exhibited for sale. It's no more a prose. It is back again to a play. Because by every chance, Gabriel Roberts is known as one of the greatest actors of his time and also a greatest playwright. So if you are interested to know that myth is a myth, it's not a reality. It's not a reality. The proof is you have Senegal here. The proof is Gambian Senegal is one people, two nations. That is the truth. And the Senegambian myth, it will remain a myth. But you can buy it just to whet your curiosity. Thank you.
Thank you to all our international guests. Thank you very much for your insightful and inspiring remarks. Your presence and words have added great value to this historic occasion, and we deeply appreciate your support for literature. Okay, before going any further, I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about Mr. Khalil Jamed. He's an author whose book is being held at the book fair right now, but he has decided to give all his copies to the students here for free, just so you know. Okay, and it's also, he's going to make sure he's signed copies, okay, from Mr. Khalil Jamed. Thank you so much for this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached a very significant moment in today's ceremony. It is my honor to invite a leader whose portfolio speaks directly to the soul of this festival, one that is celebrated, and his story, one that is not only celebrated, his stories are our heritage and our creative identity are all in his stories. He talks about everything basically when it comes to Gambia. He's an honorable, also one of the legendary writers here in the Gambia. There is no way we can have a literature conference or I would therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Mr. Honorable, actually, Honorable Nana Gray Johnson.
Thank you, Honorable ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, members of the diplomatic circles. Thank you, our very able guests, our lovely guests who are with us here. And I am so happy that I am able to stand here and reciprocate the great, the wonderful welcome they gave us in Senegal. The president of president was there to celebrate, to take part in the festival, 33rd edition of the International Festival, a book festival formed by the Senegalese Writers Association. It was my third, fourth, fifth time in joining them in Dakar at the time, because I go way back to when Badara Bey, may God rest his soul, great man, man of the broadest mind, broadest heart, welcomed us in Dakar to ask us to join and celebrate the Senegambia theme through books and literature. And so I've been acquainted with that circuit for some years now. And what I have gleaned, what I have learned is that we can transfer some of that energy to the Gambia so that writers can bring the kind of literature that we are looking forward to knowledge, to promote development and growth, just as we see in the partnership. Yes. In the partnerships that we have built with Senegal and the way they are doing it over there. It is so professional. And I am happy to say, to tell our guests, that our partnerships will grow, we will continue so that we can learn. This is our first year. They have celebrated it 33 years. That tells you we are ready to learn. And there's much we can learn from them. And as the saying goes, the longest journey starts with the first step, right? A small step. And that's the step we are taking today. And we are proud. The empty seats you see here, these empty seats are symbolic of where we are. It is symbolic of where we are taking off. And we will get where we are going when we follow the right steps and get the right partners and knock on the right doors, beginning with government and on to the private industry and all that is at our disposal. And then we know, we are proud that this Kunta Kinteh Festival was started by the Young Writers Association. And we have come now to take it up as the Writers Association of the Gambia. And as Mr. Balde will always tell you, our duty is to grow the younger folks so that they can take over again. And then through that, we guarantee our future because we are passing and we need to hand over to the younger folks. So our duty at WAG is to train the younger folk to be able to run the stage as we are doing now. We thank you very much for coming, and we will always cherish our relations with Senegal. I am a true believer in Senegambia, especially the Senegambia of the notion of Edward Francis Small. Because we are talking about Edward Francis Small and Senegambia with Blaise Diagne and the rest of them. You're talking about 1920. When Edward Francis Small, the watchdog of the Gambia, looked at the economy, looked at everything that was there, and said, these two countries must get together. And of course, the colonial interpretation of that gave Small such a hard time. But when Governor Armitage insisted that Banjul Bathurst was too small for a governor and a noisy journalist, Small went into exile. And where did he go? He went to Rufisque. As a trade unionist, he was distant from his people. And in Rufisque, he sat down and thought, how am I going to reach my people, fight for their cause all the way in Rufisque? He started a newspaper. That newspaper became the Gambia Outlook and Senegambian Reporter. Remember, the man had an objective for naming his newspaper the Gambia Outlook and Senegambian Reporter. So we know we are talking about 1922. So some people, some nationalists have been awake to the issue. So what we are doing is taking forward their dream. And I welcome the Senegalese for that. And we are glad, according to what that they are going to make sure that they have a hand in what. And that is so comforting. Thank you for saying that. So what is my job now? All to tell you, give you a little bit of information that we are going to be led by our president, all of us, to tour the bookstalls. Take your time to look around, and after the tour, we are going to end up in the lobby, where the exhibits are shown. Some of the demo is showing who the writers are and their works, and that's where the president Barry, Professor Barry, will explain and tell us exactly the joy that we have in conducting this festival. So with that note, I want to declare in all humility this first edition of the Kunta Kinteh International Book Festival open. I thank you very much. So in French, c'est permettez-moi de déclarer cette édition, c'est le festival ouvert. C'est comme ça?
So much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Okay. As you rightly mentioned, let's follow our president to the book fair. Please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. The presence has significant pride. Thank you, yes. Yeah, students, you get to have free books from this time. He's distributing them now. All right, let's go. Come on.
na nina funo tayo sabala na funo. Is here. Oh man.
Okay, please, you have to go.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you can now join the president on the book fair tour. He's talking about each of the libraries that are there. Hi. Hi, Carol. Oh, see?
Syndicating.
Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
Can you ask Aisha?
You okay?
D'abord pendant quelques jours avant que ça devienne loi. Voilà, c'est présenté, mais ça va avant. C'est seulement pour montrer le travail qu'ils ont fait. But you also do individual books.
Yes.
Yes.
So, like, there are some people that are presented here. We written them up.
Okay. Yes. Okay, we can move now. So this table is the table of our honorable president, former president Nana Gray Johnson. So, and here we also have the Senegambian. But most of these books, Nana Gray Johnson is one of the most published authors in the Gambia presently. Nana Gray Johnson, c'est lui qui a, donc il a publié beaucoup de livres. Une partie de ces livres, c'est aussi comment dire, c'est sur le journalisme, mais il écrit aussi beaucoup de romans. Donc la plupart de ces livres sont des romans et des nouvelles. Ok. Et cette partie aussi, c'est l'association des écrivains. Can we move? Thank you. You are enjoying. Okay, go ahead. Explain to them so that you save the time of telling me and telling them.
dama leen bëgg a nuyu waa Sénégal yi book bu ñu joxe xale yi book bi dafa dañ ko defoon si français bu ma nekkoon Spain seen ambassadeur bu nekkoon Spain 2010 moo ma laajte pour book bi ma def ko français ñu yóbbu ko Sénégal so 2010 def nañ ko français yóbbu nañ ko Sénégal Luka dañu am présentation si book bi Luka buñ ko yóbboon foofu balaa maa dem foofu dañu joxe book bi 25 schools lañu joxe book bi pour ñu jàng ko bu ñu ko jàngee ñoom 25 school bu nekk ñu génnee ñaar xale pour ñu defu théâtre su book bi bés bu ñu doon présenté book bi gars dañoo ñëw ñu ne seen student yi dañu am surprise mu nga xam ne dañu leen bëgg a ñu xam ko balaa ñu commencé meeting bi student yi ñu ñëw ñu play théâtre bi bu ñu ko play ñëpp ñu fa nekkoon ñu ngi jooy parce que dafa mel ni daal ñu jàngee si book ñu nekk si book bi boobu la ñu acté so boobu la leen bëgg a wax book bi mu ngi français book bi pour lan la pour suma yoon la bu nga xam ne dañu doon jógee fii dem Spain.
moo yónni gannaaw moo yónni bato yi waaw yónni danger yi gars yi dee jël expérience bi boobu la bind si livre ay mergan clandestin bi moom la bind si expérience bi la bind si livre
Si français bi mu ngi tudda el viaje miserable de Khalil desde Gambia a España.
no that's Spanish it's not French
Okay.
en français ça c'est le voyage de misère voyage de misère
copie bi jeex na next year
l'année prochaine thank you very much ok
quelque chose sur le livre là pour parler de...
quel livre
Mon livre,
oh ok ok that's Comanche c'est le livre de Comanche
c'est vous. C'est un livre que j'ai dédié.
sorry
Que j'ai dédié à mon arrière-grand-mère pour parler justement des liens entre le Sénégal, la Gambie, la Guinée-Bissau et la Guinée-Conakry. Ça, c'est la mère du dernier roi de la ville, Kunta Walisane.
Comanche il venait de Cabo. De Cabo, parce que vous savez, nous on dit Cabo, parce que quand la bataille de Kansala a eu lieu, elle a été une des princesses de roi qui a été amenée par le Peul à Fouta Djalon. Donc,
parler des liens et dire qu'on doit préserver.
C'est une démonstration aussi que les Peuls ont converti les Mandés. On va acheter, oui, d'accord. Bon, on va passer au tableau suivant. Let's go.
Je vais revenir, on va acheter ce livre.
Par là, s'il vous plaît. Par là, s'il vous plaît.
Ça aussi, c'est moi. D'accord.
Okay, this is Subakunda Publishing, owned by Amir Yaya Silla, one of our great sponsors, and also a Gambian writer who writes on particularly social issues that relate to our society, our lives, our problems. So, you want to do a presentation? Go ahead.
Yeah, all welcome. As he said, we are Subakunda Publishing. We have a bookshop at Kotu, opposite the fire service, where we sell books authored by the CEO himself, Amelia Asila, and other Gambian books. We also publish some of these Gambian books by
Nana Gray Johnson.
We are the one who published
Yes, one of his books.
And Esa Basun, we published that one too. And Jennifer Delson's and quite a number of Gambian books that we publish in our company and also sell them in our shop. And every year too, we have this campaign called My Gambia Victory the World campaign. We visit schools and take some of these books and donate it to the schools. On June, July, and December 21st, every year we held a competition called Ami Book Award, where we ask questions from those books that we donated to the schools and present students. This year too, we'll be having it on Sunday at Kunta, where we have our 4th edition of Ami Book Award, where we will ask questions from those books that we've donated to the schools. And then any question being answered, we have a prize. We are doing this all to...
Voilà, c'est une maison d'édition, Subakunda, par un Gambien qui s'appelle Yaya Silla, qui publie aussi les œuvres gambiennes. Donc, c'est une maison d'édition, une des grandes maisons d'édition qui existe ici en Gambie. Mais ils engagent aussi les élèves de l'école en leur donnant des livres gratuitement à lire. Et après, ils vont venir pour faire des questionnaires ou en forme de tests pour voir les gens qui ont lu les livres seront donc remerciés et on va leur donner des cadeaux. Voilà ce qu'ils ont fait pour encourager les gens pour faire la lecture. Parce que la lecture, c'est un problème, surtout pour les jeunes. Ils lisent plus. Now we have to pass. Okay.
Thank you so much.
We are going to pass over here now.
You're welcome.
So this stall is primarily for Islamic books. In all issues related to Islam. So we have also the International Open University, but this is Hack Union that has proposed to bring Islamic books. Because normally, what Islamic books, we need even to have another stall for Fulani, local languages. But unfortunately, they got to get the information a little late. Because we felt that books are not only written in the colonial languages, but even there also, it's not only written on secular issues, but there are issues that relate to our lives, like Islam, for example. So this is the only stall that has provided Islamic books. You want to say what?
Yeah, please encourage you all, if you know English, pick up a book which will help you to understand more about the religion, the way of life, as a woman, what you can do, and as a man, how we can have a society, the Muslim society, and how to be an ideal Muslim. So we have beautiful topics covered in a very simplified way. So I encourage you all to pick up a book.
Inshallah. They even have discounted books for those who are as poor as I am. You can always buy a book for a little smaller price.
They're also
Especially
asking
students.
if we have these in French translated. Do we
Oh.
have these in French?
I wouldn't be sure I know exactly whether they have this in French, but I'm sure there are also others in French, but I'm not sure whether this exactly are in French. But the topics are definitely books that are also in French. Alors, je disais que ça, c'est la seule table qui reflète des livres sur l'islam. Alors, ce qu'elle est en train de dire, c'est que ça reflète tous les problèmes sociétaux pour les gens qui s'intéressent à savoir un peu plus sur la religion. Ils peuvent acheter des livres pour comprendre que ce soit des femmes, des hommes, la pratique, les problèmes, etc. Et elle est en train de dire elle me demande s'il y a des versions françaises, mais je ne peux pas savoir parce que les sujets pourraient être des sujets génériques, qui pourraient être en français, mais pas peut-être exactement avec le même auteur. Très bien. Okay, so here also is another bookshop, one of the most famous bookshops in the Gambia. That everybody knows. It's Timbuktu. No promotions here. It's the facts. Timbuktu bookshop. So I leave you to.
You can also scan and join our public for women, various activities. Bookshop. And this side we have books written by Gambia. This side, most of the pages are for non-Gambians, as well as for yeah.
Okay, so they are also selling, I think, with some discount, right?
No.
Okay, so normal price.
Yeah.
But everybody's encouraged to come and buy. I'm sure you will also find many other Gambian writers. Their books are around, including myself.
Yes.
I think some of my books are there,
Yes,
even in French. Yes. J'ai aussi mon livre en français ici. J'ai écrit aussi en français. Voilà, il y a un de mes livres à vendre ici, version française. J'ai fait un petit historique de la littérature gambienne, mais surtout des décennies. Mais je vais vous dédier des livres.
Parce que tout à l'heure, je t'ai entendu cette compétition-là. Je distribue par hasard comme ça aux lecteurs. Et maintenant, le jour de la donc, ce sera la troisième activité. L'auteur va venir, va présenter son livre et les lecteurs.
Exactement ce que nous sommes en train de faire, mais on n'a pas donné les livres en avance. On va faire la lecture sur place. Okay, come, let me bring you. Honorable, he's a National Assembly member. Honorable Malike Sise. Oh, yes, okay. So, introduce.
Yeah, these are the books that we
Honorable Malike Sise wrote 7 books in 1 year. So this one is The Rise and Fall of the Dictatorship. Yeah. This one is $1,000 and the Fundamentals of Journalism. This one is $850 and The Betrayal. This one is $900. So Vision for Development. This one is $500. So
c'est un des députés, vous l'avez rencontré hier. Il s'appelle Madi Sissé, c'est le député que vous avez vu quand vous êtes venu. Voilà, il a acheté un espace pour voilà, faire une exposition de ses livres. Voilà.
answer is if he's on his way to
Yes,
Senegal.
yes, yes. He told me. I hope you are his wife. You will be coming tonight. He told me, you must come. Allez, on va passer maintenant.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now, we invited Senegalese bookshop and publishers. So this one is Claire Afrique. It's a bookshop also. It's like Timbuktu in Senegal. It is one of the biggest bookseller in Senegal. Claire Afrique.
Bon, ñun librairie Claire Afrique depuis 1951 ren lañu am 75 ans.
75 years this year.
Voilà, donc dañ koy feetu en 2026 dañuy feetu suñu 75 ans. Bon, ñun ñu ngi bokk ci librairie yoo xam ne ñoo gën a rëy à Dakar. Voilà, avec nos collègues, vous allez la voir. Voilà, donc ñun dañuy def ay matériel scolaire, universitaire, tout religieux, islam, catholique, tout. Bon, c'est une librairie.
They are the biggest bookshop in Senegal. If you want a book for university education, primary school, secondary school, for reading, for pleasure, for research, they are the biggest. So this is why they were invited and they generously accepted to come.
Dañuy liggéey sous région bi Burkina tout ça là, vous tapez Claire Afrique, vous allez voir nos coordonnées, vous commandez et puis vous.
And then Senegal Larmata is a publishing company in Senegal. They are not a bookseller. They publish books. So these people, what they do is you bring your manuscript, they review it. When they are satisfied, they publish it for you, and then they sell it for you, and then you get the money. Wow.
Bon, là, c'est la maison d'édition Larmata Sénégal, une maison d'édition sénégalaise. Donc, depuis 2009, on a créé à Dakar. Larmata, en tant que maison d'édition internationale, c'est depuis 1975. Tout ce que vous voyez, dès que vous voyez le logo comme ça, avec ce logo, c'est un travail de Larmata Sénégal.
It's their logo. And they have published many Senegalese writers, and you can even see Ousmane Sonko.